We are going off the rails. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show dedicated to Disney and tangents. I am your host, Frank, and today I am joined alongside by a bunch of great individuals, including Denny Sunderly.
Hi there.
We have Rhino.
Hello.
And for the first time ever on Off the Rails, we have Erica Resnick.
Hi, friends.
Filling in admirably for Jackie Gailey, who is in Jacksonville and not currently here. And, well, yeah, we want to have a show this week. And so Erica was happy enough to stick around, talk about Disney with us for a while. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, and what are we talking about today? We're just going to talk about how we are currently feeling about Walt Disney World in this current day and age of summer 2022. And who knows, maybe it'll even extend beyond Walt Disney World. We'll just have to wait and see. That's the whole fun of Off the Rails. But before we can get to that fun conversation, I do have to remind you that this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content and you want to support us, please consider booking a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money and you get the support of an awesome Dreams Unlimited Travel agent. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Okay, 2022, summer is nigh but upon us. Like officially, this week is the official start of summer if we're going based on Gregorian calendars. But I mean, in terms of we're being past Memorial Day, the official start of summer for the United States, I mean, we're already in summer. Do I need to explain summer anymore? Probably not. Will you accuse me of just wanting to hear myself talk? Probably. We'll just get past all that. But summer is here. And with that in the past, it would normally mean crowds for Walt Disney World, hot weather popping up, us like devolving into nightmarish situations. But how are we feeling about Walt Disney World right now? Anyone?
Okay. I will say, I'm going to say things that I've enjoyed recently. Is that we went, some friends and I went on like a Sunday. I believe it was last weekend. And it doesn't matter because this could have come out months from now. But Guardians of the Galaxy was still officially kind of new as of this time.
It's still new right now.
Yeah. And it was cool because we were able to get all four of us tried, but one of us got the reservation for all four of us to be able to do the my gosh, what is
boarding
it called?
Group?
Yeah, boarding group. Got a boarding group. What was kind of insane, though, is that when we got that boarding group at 7 a.m., it said that the estimated wait time was like 300 or 200 and something minutes. So I was like, okay, that's 4.5 hours from now. So I was like, it's 7 a.m. So I was like, as long as we're in the park by like 10, we should be fine because that cuts off like an hour and a half. No, girl.
Nope.
That thing, luckily, like I woke back up because that thing went off and it was like 9 a.m. and we were called to board by I think 9:45 and you had like 15 minutes maybe or something like that. Like I had to have someone to go to guest relations and be like, can you ask? Because it's kind of insane that it's like right at park open right now. And it told me 4.5. I wouldn't care if it was like in the vicinity, but I was like, that's almost half of the wait time of what it is. And I know this is the rare like random time I'd complain about it. But regardless, the person did say, it shouldn't be a problem if you're here as close as you can be to that time. And so they were very kind and understanding. I did end up making it right in to scan my thing before the time limit ran out. So I was lucky.
Well, here's the thing. Denny and I have firsthand experience with this from opening day.
Away?
Okay. Not necessarily, but I'm going to let Denny tell the story because it was our adventure.
Okay, so yes, I got up that morning. Both Craig and I had park passes, so it automatically, when you try to join that virtual queue the morning of, it'll scan MDX. It'll pull up whoever has a park pass that day, and you're in a group. You can say, no, I really don't want this person, to ride the ride with me, but you try to get a park pass for everybody, and so we got them, and same just like you, Rhino, like. A gazillion minutes from now is when you're going to ride this ride. And immediately upon park open, it jumped. And then it jumped again. and then it jumped again. And you had already been in the park early that morning.
Yes.
Because you were making purchases.
Yeah. So that was the weekend that it opened, of course, was Memorial Day weekend. And Rhino was at Celebration. And he tasked me, along with one other friend, to go in, get the stuff that was going to sell out instantly, which I believe as of the last time I was at Epcot, nothing's really sold out. Not a lot.
Well, when I was there on that Sunday, the jacket we were like, the jacket will be fine, nowhere to be found.
That's true.
And then they had a small amount of them that ended up showing up later that day, but it was way less than was there in the beginning.
Yeah.
And some stuff was sold out that you showed pictures of that wasn't there.
The collectibles. So collectibles and the jacket, on that first day, it was not being moved at all. No one cared about it because it's also like
hot.
It's hot. Who wants to get a jacket? And I'll say too, the one thing is, Rhino was like, okay, pick me up a jacket in a large. And you know,
were right. I tried it on.
Yeah. I'm not like trying to ever be mean about myself, but I can wear some t-shirts in a large, and usually length is the problem, not the width, but I just do extra large in most things to be safe. I put on I think the large jacket, and first I was looking straight up like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy with fat guy in a little coat. And then I put on the extra large, and I was still tight in it. I'm like, I think I would have to put on a double XL in order to get it on.
And I literally couldn't get my arms to go like this. So I couldn't really lift my arms, and I was like, and I tried the extra large on, but then at that point I was like, these arms feel like they're too long now though. Like the arms are long, but I can't. So the back, so it's an awfully cut jacket. Yeah. It's not very well cut, but yeah, so sorry.
Well, no, you're fine.
I didn't mean to interject with the merchandise.
But that's exactly why I was there, to buy merch and get them the fanny packs, because they wanted to really make sure that those.
I used it on that day,
so
we know it was worth it. Yeah,
they needed that ab satch. They did not want it to sell out, so for that reason, I went there to get it, and then I had to get back home to do my job, and I forget what videos went up that day, but I had to get stuff done. And so, yeah, I was surprised when I looked at my list and Denny texted me like, oh, I got us a ride reservation and for a boarding group for it. I'm like, oh, that's great. That's great. And I think I left to get back home at like 9:20. And that's when our text chain started back and forth of, it's saying right now 2 hours, but the way it's jumping, I don't think it's going to be that. Mm-hmm. And I went to visit a friend who worked there, and I was watching, like, I saw literally the ride could not keep up with the amount of people going in, the amount of people going in could not keep up with the ride. So I watched 2 empty cars be dispatched out with no one on them because they just could not get people in the queue and onto the ride fast enough. So I'm like, as soon as I saw that, it means that ride can eat people and has great capacity if the pre-shows aren't slowing them down. And so I'm watching this. I'm like, there's no way this is going to be that long, because if they ever get to the point where people get on the ride, it's going to go fast. And that leads us to Denny's.
Yep. So it got to the point where I was there. Craig was not there yet, but I talked to the cast member, and the cast member said, actually, if your friend gets here later, it's okay. Anytime after your boarding group has been called, you can come back.
Oh, okay, good.
He said, if you want to ride together, you should wait. Like, I shouldn't go. Okay. And so I communicated that to Craig, and you were fine with that. So I went ahead and got on the ride, and off I went. But so, and we've proven it to be true, with my nephew over the weekend, because the same thing happened on Sunday. Like, oh, you've got 385 minutes. No, you don't. Because once 8:30 hits, it just jumps incrementally, like big time.
And I feel like that's a flaw in the system or something. Like, that's got to, like, I mean, I would much rather be told a higher wait time than that. But something that's like 3 hours off, like, I wasn't supposed to go on that ride till like 12:30.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I planned my day, or you know what I mean? Like, it's fine. I got on it. It was good. The whole point of this was, it's just a system. Be careful, because like the whole frustrating part is having to wake up at 7 a.m. to do it.
Yes.
And then being like, okay, well, now I can go back to sleep for like an hour or so. you can't. You got to be awake at that point. So I don't love that aspect of it,
But that's what also dates this as current, because hopefully in another month or two, this will no longer be as big of an issue, and they'll have a better understanding of their system. They'll be able to gauge how many people want the individual lightning lanes for it, so they know, okay, if we can sell more of these, and that will slow down the boarding group procedure and for everyone else. And there's definitely ways that they will be able to get a grip on what people should actually expect from the wait time. But it's when all the annual pass holder previews, DVC previews, cast member previews, when those were all done without a boarding group system and you just go during your time, I mean, that was actually a disadvantage. If they would have been able to use the system, they would have understood it for this ride, because what worked for Ratatouille and what worked for Rise of the Resistance before won't necessarily work with the next one, unless they're all the exact same ride with the exact same capacity, and then it can work.
You said it earlier too, factoring in the fact that there are 2 pre-show stops in this, and those rooms can't get any fuller. You can only put as many people as you can put in those rooms, and if that's so it's got to be timing, essentially too. And so that was the part too I noticed on Sunday. They were really cramming people into the room to the point where I was like, don't you dare say anything that you have anything related to COVID protocols anymore at all after the way you shoved people into this room. Because I was just like, they were like, if you have space in front of you, it means you can still move forward. And I wanted to be like,
carpet.
But then but then they'll say something where they'll be like, oh yeah, well, because of safety protocols. And I'll be like, okay, sure. Now you're just like, that's where I was like, I don't like that. So, but the experience of being able to get on it was a lot of fun. The song was Conga.
We have Conga too.
So yeah,
the best one.
I'm still waiting on. I don't think I had September yet. I thought maybe I had it done the last time, but I'm positive I don't think I've actually had it yet. Or not September. I haven't had Run.
Oh my gosh, that's the one I've had.
Yeah.
The majority of the times.
I haven't had Run or September.
Does Run start with the ding, 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 like the
it's
sound
3
of the
chords.
Yeah.
The whole
maybe I did have them all at this point. I just maybe have only had that one once, but anyway,
I thought the one you didn't have was Blondie.
No, that was the first one I ever had, and I said that's my favorite one because I feel like the dips and everything go with the music right at the right time. So I was like,
I just am shocked that there's 2 people in this room right now that think Conga is the best one of the songs.
Oh, I don't think it's the best.
It's just it's the best ride I've had is with Conga playing. I've got Conga twice. And I've only done the attraction 3 times.
Okay.
So for me, the best time I've done it, the first time I ever rode it was Conga. And my wife and our families are from Cuba. My best friend's with me, and he is also Cuban, and we're from South Florida. We all came from Miami. So we were kind of like, oh, they knew we were here.
Yes.
So they played this song for us.
Yeah.
So I also rode that same Sunday you're talking about, like last week, Sunday. And I've stopped doing the math. I wake up at 6:55 and I just press refresh until 7, and I take like a 30-minute power nap, and then I look and I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, probably got to be there at 9. And she's like, but the math is 10. I'm like, we're not going to trust the math anymore. Not trusting the math. We're going to be there at 9 and we'll see what happens. And lo and behold, 9:30 we were called.
I mean, whatever. The you know what? It got me to start my day early, and that's fine. And we got on the ride, and the wait was like relatively like not terrible. Like you scan and you're like in the building. So at least we were in the building, and that's fine. And I meant to put my timer on to see how long it was, but it wasn't like it was a short wait, but it wasn't like I wasn't in the sun, so I didn't care.
Right.
And so whatever, we did it. It was fine. I went in the gift shop because that's a separate line you have to go out and get into now. And I will say this, it did move relatively quickly, and there are umbrellas to wait in for that line, which is nice because it's just that time of year. It's impossible not to. And we went in, and that was where I saw a lot of the merchandise that wasn't actually there when they had us go in for the media thing to be able to take a sneak peek at it. And so like they had the Loki horns, they had the collectibles that Craig was mentioning, but some of the collectibles were sold out. So they had the staff. They had the gauntlets.
Yeah.
They had
they were missing the eye.
They didn't have the eye, and they didn't have I don't think they had the ether. Maybe they did have the ether. It's there
now.
Okay, because it was because they had the orb, and that's the other one I want from Guardians. But here's the thing. Now seeing those all in person, somebody just was like, I don't know what to price these. Just put $100 for everything. They're not all made equally. Like the staff, what's cool about the staff is 125, and it's, it's like this tall, like I'd say 4.5 feet, maybe 5 feet. I don't know, 5 feet might be stretching
It's
it. Maybe
four.
like 4 feet.
Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's cool about it is that lights up and it comes with the stone inside of it, obviously. But the cast iron told me that like the stone where it goes in, depending which stone is in it, it'll change the light and everything, which is cool. And it's USB charging powered. I'm like, okay. So I was like 120 for this. I actually see that as being like, okay, that's not bad. There's some metal parts on this, you know, it's not quite like, it's not one where you're like, that's the prop from the movie, but I was like,
Right.
it's fun, close enough for the price it is. And then the orb, though, from like Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the silver ball that turns into, it breaks, you know, in half, and it's got the purple, the power stone is inside of it, and it comes with a cool stand that it sits on. That's also $100. And I was watching that, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, that I feel like is kind of like, I don't get why this is $100.
Right.
And then the Tesseract, which is just a square cube that is like, you know, it
Has
looks
little
exactly
lights
like it in
inside.
it. Yeah, it just lights up. That's also $100. And I'm like, that Tesseract should only be like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is literally just a cube that lights up. It doesn't look like, I asked, I was like, does it do anything besides light up? And they're like, no. And I'm like, so why is that one $100? And then this staff is also like, is just like $20 more. Or like, why is the orb $100? And then the eye and the ether was sold out. But the eye, I guess, does do the like, it opens
That's
and
good.
shines, right? And has that. And then the ether's like that box thing that I barely remember in the movie, but it like has the red eye in it. Those are like all where I'm like, there should be like a $75, $80 range in here. Like, so it feels like somebody just didn't know what to do and they shoved it out and were like, price everything this price. But I will say, I did buy the Loki horns. Because I put them on and they did fit on my. The first pair I put on, the area where the strap is to tighten it underneath of the thing was right here on my head, and it was squeezing. And I was like, oh no! I was like, I can't do this. I go migraine. I'm glad I picked up another one just out of curiosity, because when I put that one on, like on the largest setting, it slips down and like it's resting on my like it's too tight.
Wonderful.
So like I can tighten it. Like I have to tighten it like 3 ways in. Those are only $50, and they did an annual pass holder discount, so they're like $40. So I was like, these really aren't that much more than like Mickey ears. And I like to collect like helmets and things from movies, and I was like, they are cheaper because they are meant to be like, I think, worn around like the park and stuff like that. And I wore it all day. And
Good for you.
but like the horns like twist and come out or whatever, and they can be condensed so you can carry it and bring it with you. But I thought it was interesting. Because I was like, all right, well, they're not collector's level, but they would do for a Halloween costume. And I was like, so $40 for these ears for like what I could wear for a Halloween costume is great. So I'm hoping they do the Thor helmet next for Love and Thunder, and not the one from Love and Thunder because that one looks disgusting in the preview, but the one from like Ragnarok or the original one or something like that. But anyway, I was excited for that because I was like, wow, there was stuff I didn't know was going to be here, and that helmet thing actually ended up fitting. So I ended up getting that, and I did get the staff.
Love that.
I didn't open it yet. It's literally just sitting on my thing because I've been traveling and everything. But yeah,
Wants
So
to see
cool.
if he regrets it.
yes. Oh no.
Got it.
I do, but I will see. Yeah. Well, I'm also like, I don't even know where to put it, so it's like, why do I even open this? I got to like find a stack, an area to like hide it in a corner or something. But
It's
Well-
I bought that shirt from Universal that has Jaws, Back to the Future, and
The
ET
button-
on it.
the
Yeah.
button down? Yeah.
I bought it because I thought the design was great, but I wasn't happy with the quality of it. And so I actually told Kylie, I was like, I'm going to return this. And like
did you do it?
I didn't do it yet. I forgot it the last time
Yeah.
I went to the Universal, but her jaw dropped. She was like, "What? You're going to return something
Wow.
that from Universal with the stuff on?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I bought one other thing that was like an instant purchase that I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it. I got home, looked at it in a different light. I'm like, why did I just buy this?
Yeah.
Why did I? And so I'm like, I think I'm finally starting to listen back to these shows and be like, yeah, I've got to start making better decisions. If I ever want to retire,
Yeah.
I need to make better
Yes.
decisions about the junk I buy.
Well, also it's like wall space and counter space,
Yes.
you know, becomes more and more rare as you're getting, you know, furniture or whatever. And that's the part where I'm like, okay, well, you know, even when I move into an ideal place, I was like, the wall space is going to be limited there too. So it's like, I've got to start making, like, I've decided like I have to carry through on it. It's hard for me because I have some emotional issues related to it, but like, I am ready to be like, I'm getting rid of all of these like toys that I have. Like, yes, I don't regret getting them, but I'm like, I am never even an ideal situation. There is too many things to put out here. I want things like, I do want the staff, but I like the lightsabers we have. And it's like now Hasbro started releasing the Power Ranger weapons, and my guess is they're going to release all the originals that will combine into that blaster. So I was like, if I want something like this, I have to give up that other stuff, because those I want to put like on a wall and have them on a wall together or whatever. But that's where I was like, okay, I can't have everything. So I really need to lay priority to things that you really want.
You have to either keep the original Picasso that was handed down through your family, or you put up the Power Ranger weapons. What do you do?
Oh, Mama, I don't have anything handed down to me that is very
It was a joke. That's the decisions that you have to make.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
we get rid of the Picasso.
do I want the original Monet for a lightsaber display?
Yeah.
Yes,
I do. Well, that's part of the fun too, though, is that once you clean that area, then you can do stuff and make like fun, cool. Like I do want to make some sort of display for the lightsabers, because I want the hilts to be like out so we can see them. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm saying we because Craig also has several.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like.
So you all are going to do a workshop?
I think, though, yeah.
Yeah, the two of you with goggles on.
Woodworking. No, I've got it. I'm gonna have to get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. You know what? They were fun while they lasted.
Oh, I'm getting an Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber, and I'm getting the Qui-Gon lightsaber, and then I'm cut off. No more after that. No more after that.
Okay.
But the Obi-Wan one, when that released in the park, I'll be there crying about the money I spent on it.
Yep, I'm done. Right now, my current investment is in patches. Because
patches.
I'm embracing the jacket. I'm gonna get a backpack. They will call me Patches one day, because I want
Patches to Houlihan.
I don't want how his fate was.
Your hat, you could.
I was just thinking that too.
On.
He's going to be the next Maserati, Mr. Maserati.
That's right.
We are going to see Craig covered in the patches at Disney Springs.
And sparkly.
Just waiting.
I mean, I am upset that the patches do feel overpriced, because they're all $10. But you buy them at Walt Disney World. They're only then, with our annual pass discount, they're only $8. So it's
they last longer than a T-shirt, though. That's the thing, because you could pull them off the bag when you're done. So like you still can keep them going. And you know what? Turn them into a magnet when you don't want them to be a patch on something anymore. Glue a magnet.
I always want to, but as my BO ruins a jacket, then I'll just rip them all off and I'll start a new jacket.
You're like, what are the women who do the? Sorry, it doesn't have to be women. Excuse me, but you know what I mean. Like but it's like the quilt for the family, where you have the different. Every square represents a different thing,
like the Unity quilt on Parks and Rec.
Yes, exactly. That's what you're doing. You're building the Unity Park quilt, the Unity Park patches.
I like it. Right now, I've been holding off from Universal patches, but my Disney patch collection is starting to.
I got a patch this weekend, and at the Family Business Brewing, because I thought of you, and I was like, you know what? I got a shirt too, though, but I was like, I want something that's going to last longer than the shirt. So I was like, I'm going to get this patch because it's $10.
Wow.
And it's like the logo. And I got the tin sign too. I also spent way too much money there. But I was like, I've waited to come here for like years since it opened. Blah, blah. Oh. Do I regret it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
So when we were in Avengers Campus, we haven't really ever talked about our Disneyland trip a lot. So we'll have to do that in one episode. But I tried to hold back from buying too much crap I didn't need. The one thing I wanted was one of the black Disneyland Spirit jerseys. You just can't find them anywhere, though.
They were out there last year.
That's a
They're
running.
gone now?
It's a running joke. It's a running joke now because he keeps saying because it's literally the one you can find the most of anywhere.
Okay. It's the only one you can find everywhere.
I'm sorry.
So every gift shop we walked into, I was being very annoying, and I was like, I just really wish I could find the black Spirit jersey, and that's all I wanted from it. Mm-hmm. But I only wanted like something from Avengers Campus because that's like
that was the new thing.
It was the new thing for me, and it's distinctly Disneyland right now. Well, Disneyland Paris soon, but like that's what I want. And so I think I left with a bunch of patches from there, and that kind of was it. Minus like the collectibles, like with the Pim's cup and things that you get that just if you want.
I'm at the point with the Pim's cup though, where you're like, there's a part of me where I'm like, this feels wasteful because people who come here all the time are going to have so many. Oh, yeah. And I was with Kevin. He threw his in the trash. And I was like, Kevin, did you just throw the cup away? And he said, yeah, I don't need it. And I was like, why didn't you ask me if I wanted it? But I ended up leaving with like 3 anyway. Yeah. So, because I gave one to Chloe too, because I was like, Chloe, here's 2. So you have a matching set. Because I finally tried them. I finally was like, I didn't try the thing with the ice cream and the beer. I think I tried that with you though.
Yes, you did on the final.
And then I've tried the one you had last time. And then I had like one more.
Yeah.
And I was like,
no, I'm throwing away my damaged one, and I'm keeping my one good one. But I didn't walk away. So but I wanted something Avengers Campus. So then when Guardians opened, I was so excited to look at all the merchandise, and I only walked away with a patch from that because I was like, just none of this stuff is like catching me. It's all very cool, like the retro, vintage Epcot, Walt Disney World stuff with the Guardians on it. But even then, it's like it says Guardians of the Galaxy, not like
It's
not Cosmic
it's tracked
Rewind,
yeah,
and not.
tracked
It just
specific.
everything was like missing one thing from it that would have pushed me over the edge in terms of getting it.
I didn't get the blue cup. I was gonna get that, you know,
Okay.
that cup that's
Yeah.
like split in the middle. It's like pulled. It's a plastic cup, but I like drinking water and, what am I talking about? Sparkling water out of
Okay.
out of plastic cups because I don't know. I don't trust myself on the glass ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust myself unless I'm inebriated. Then we break out the nice stuff.
I will say, I watched him in the middle of the night wake up with an actual glass and throw it against the wall.
Oh my word!
It was Chloe though on the Star Wars trip. She was like, "You fell asleep and your water bottle was in your hand." And she was like, and I said, "Yeah," and I woke up and I put it back. And she was like, "Yeah, but you were asleep for like 2 hours, just holding it." And she's like, "I was watching to see if you were going to spill it, and you didn't." And
That was
like,
that final night, wasn't it?
It's amazing.
No, it
No?
was the final night.
Yeah, the night that you went on all the breweries.
No, it was actually it was the Disneyland, the Star Wars After Dark at Disneyland thing, which I would never pay to do ever again.
Really?
Yeah, I paid for that. Like $175 ticket. Yeah, I'm crazy. And I thought, well, I'm only here and I'm gonna have FOMO
Well,
if I don't do it.
So cool.
I wouldn't do.
Uh,
I don't think I would do another event that was at that price. If the ones in the earlier in the month, I think were a lot less. But yeah, I felt like I waited in line for an hour and a half to take a picture with the Ewok. The person didn't ask how many were in our party, and they made us take the picture together. And I was like, "You don't know that I'm with her." And they're like, "We do, because you were talking the whole time." And I was like, "Okay, but why can't we just be in separate party?" And they're like, "We really can't." And I was like, "We just watched for an hour and a half while everybody did it." And they're like, "Yeah, but now it's getting close to the end of the night, and everyone." I was like, "It's not my fault you didn't cut the line off when you should have."
I will admit, this is a very spiteful story, but I laughed when Chloe told me the story because
Was she like Rhino was upset he had to take a picture with me?
yes, and the
It was a
reason
good picture though.
the reason why I laughed is because our friends invited us to one of the Moonlight Magics at Hollywood Studios years ago, and we didn't. It was like, Moonlight Magic's great. They always have the special characters. They had 2 Ewoks out in front of Star Tours, and we all waited as a group. But Rhino got up there first and took like 10 photos with
They were
them.
like, "How many in your group?" I said, 1.
just
and then
one.
it was okay, everyone get in for the group picture. And then the only thing Kylie wanted was a photo of her and I with the Ewoks, and they told us no. That they said you're part of the group and we can't take any more.
Oh
After
my God, for
Rhino
real?
took
Oh,
all these photos together. And so when Chloe told me that story, I was like,
You can't be trusted. He can't be trusted
yeah.
around Ewoks.
And I'm gonna
This is
say,
payback
I'm gonna bleep
here.
this one out. So I'll listen back. I'm like, this deserved it because it is
Karma,
retribution
baby.
for those years ago when he did this full photo shoot with the
They loved
Ewoks.
me. They were like
and-
on top of me. One like had sat on my lap. It was a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh,
You
my
would have thought it was like out of a Sears books catalog time or something. Like,
good grief.
don't trust me around Ewoks. That's your fault. That's everyone else's fault.
They're so daggone cute.
Just like an Ewok. Gotcha.
Can I say one thing about Guardians? Getting back to Guardians
Yeah.
real quick. So you mentioned there are 2 pre-show opportunities.
Yeah.
So that's nothing, big and groundbreaking or spoilerish. But that second pre-show, there's a moment just if you've never been on it and you're going to go on it, there's a moment that looks like we're done. And so people start to move toward a door, toward one side of the wall. And if you do that, you will miss a lot of the story unfolding kind of to the side and in front of you, or you'll be further away from the story. I watched it happen last week. Like half of the group just migrated. And I'm like, I told my nephew on Sunday, I said, so you may see a lot of people kind of jockey for position and get over here by these doors over to your right. Don't do it because you want to be able to be close to the screens to see more story moments unfold.
So I'm actually the opposite. I think the
Okay.
best is to watch it in the back right corner.
Yeah.
I think
then,
then you get
Really?
the
then
full
when
view.
Terry says the
I-
thing, the
I
doors
wanna-
pop open and you go out through the door.
See, I want to be up near the
Yeah,
screen.
well, you're also short, so
Yes, I am.
would say if you are shorter,
There you go.
you want to be upper left. When you
Yes.
move into the second pre-show room, you want to be in the upper left
Exactly.
hand side or anywhere against the the front wall that's directly in front of you. But if you're taller, the back right, I feel like it gives you the widest view. Then you also get the enjoyment of seeing the other people like as they're witnessing what's happening. So
I also think ultimately it doesn't really add that much on to your time if you are somebody who goes out of the room later. Like the way that how efficiently that queue part that you guys, you know, Craig, you said it earlier about watching the two cars go through. That second, that last part of like having to wait in a line a little bit, that part moves very fast.
Yes.
So it's like you're right. Like you might as well not sacrifice the part of the story to jump out.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Everyone always stands in front of me anyway, and I'm 4'11.5", so I just really have to break my neck back to try to see anything going on because I always end up in the back somehow. No one ever lets me through, so I'm always just like looking up, and I'm like, okay, here we are.
Just gotta shiv people.
Yeah.
I know, I gotta start elbowing people and get through.
You just get them in the Achilles; they'll go down immediately.
There you go.
So
That's right.
One quick slice with a actual knife that you can get from Connections. I am not. I'm joking.
Word.
Very much joking.
Oh my word.
yes.
Rhino, have you been to Connections? You have. We went together. We all went. That's right. Have you gone back?
Yes, I went back once with my friend Amber, who I did one of the previews with, and her husband and kids and some friends, and I believe the chicken sandwich was well received. The meatball pizza was not, and I agree. From the looks of it, I didn't get it, but his was very like, it looked like maybe the one that had been in the window for like display sort of a thing, where it was like, that doesn't look like edible to me. But, and then somebody did get what was the burger that you really liked that we said?
French
Yeah, which I was like, I'm not interested in that. And then had it, and that one was really good. Somebody got that one and really enjoyed that one too.
Okay.
But it seemed like a hit or miss thing.
No, I have actually not been back yet.
Okay.
So there's been...
I didn't get anything when I went back, though, but I was just hanging out to get people's opinions. But
I've been taking a break on Walt Disney World food for just like a hot minute because like we were very fortunate that we had a lot of dining reviews to come out of Disneyland while we were out there. So I know people are getting bored with the Disneyland dining reviews, but like... I needed a break because from Walt Disney World, it's like, you know, I only have so much time in the day to work out and exercise, but then eating this food from Walt Disney World nonstop, it's like I'm watching my pants get tighter and that scale go up. And that's even with cutting down consumption of other beverages that allow you to gain weight as well too. So I'm like, I need to take a break. So Kylie she really wants the chicken sandwich though. So we're gonna go so she can get that. I want the meatball pizza, but I don't know if I'm sold on the pizza.
I enjoyed it.
I know you enjoyed it. The pizza for me, it's not the toppings because I did like the taste of the what that was the vegan veggie one.
The curry spice pizza.
Thank you, Erica. Yeah,
that's the only thing I've eaten from there. So that's all I know.
I loved the flavor of it, but I thought their dough was just not good, and I don't think they can fix that with how they're making pizzas there. I think it's not the right style. It's not, they need to do something different, I think.
When you go back with Kylie and you have the chicken sandwich, let me know what your thoughts are because I had it on Sunday and it was less pickly than it was.
Oh, that's a problem.
I know. I felt the same way. So please let me know what you think.
I've been hearing people say that it's kind of changing and not as good as it was when it had just opened, and it's already like
it's got to be pickly. It has to be. Yeah.
Speaking of downgrading,
yes,
I want to bring up Finding Nemo again.
Yes, let's talk.
Oh yeah, wait. Okay,
Let's
so
talk.
I haven't watched the video or seen it myself in person, and I am just curious. Like, what are could you tell me what the changes are, or is that a whole separate discussion? Can we talk about that here?
Yeah, I mean, we can briefly go into it in terms of all the changes because the thing, like the main changes they made is they have the LED backdrop, which they are very proud about, and they should be. It's definitely, it's vibrant.
It's impressive.
Pops. Yeah.
it looks really good.
The entire proscenium.
Yeah.
Huge.
The big, I would say a big change is obviously they tease you into thinking that Finding Dory will be part of it. you walk in and there's a big giant thing that says the Marine Life Institute from Finding Dory, and you hear a Sigourney knockoff giving little like fun facts and tidbits before the show starts, and you're like, wow, this is going to be very different because it is definitely leaning into Finding Dory. And then the show happens, and there is not even an inkling of Finding Dory involved. It is just a shorter version of the show. Some of the songs cut down, characters cut. The tank creatures are the ones narrating the story now. Which
I thought was cute.
I thought it was cute too. And honestly, I thought the show just flowed better. I mean, and I'm not trying to make a joke about Go With The Flow, because that song drives me nuts. But
what?
That's one of the good ones.
That impressive. That's amazing.
No. I'm not talking about the puppets. I'm talking about the song itself. I love it. It drives me nuts. I'm a fan of the Lopez's work. I think they make amazing musicals. Something about Finding Nemo, the songs just they're earworms. They irritate me and they get stuck in my head, and I think that's why I don't like it that much.
Yeah, for me, I didn't feel like the edits that were made were horribly detrimental. I still connected with the characters. I love the musical. It's and I've said it before, and it's something that's really a tradition with my family. So there's a lot of heartstrings that get pulled when, like, sitting in that theater again yesterday. Oh, I was so happy just to be in the space again. And the woman, bless her, the woman next to me, whom I did not know. So when everything was said and done, she looked at me. She said, "Do you know someone in the cast?" I said, "No." I said, it's an important, the show's just very important to my family. But I really, as someone who loved what came before, I loved what the iteration we have now. Yes, there are scenery pieces, set pieces that are gone and different. Like, we've got a new tank scene now, and Squirt is no longer on a trapeze. So Squirt is now a puppet. So the actors on the stage, puppeteers on the stage, and Squirt is up in the water on from a long stick. When he's going to touch the butt, remember how they had him and the actor would push out like that, and he would go up and touch the butt. That's different now. Now a long stick and going toward that massive LED screen at the back of the stage. So there were edits. The Pelican is gone. But that being said, none of those were something that I felt broke the feeling. Now, there were only 2 actors in the audience at a time, not more than 2. So when that big expansive moment used to happen, and there would be jellyfish and all sorts of things out in the audience, that no longer happened. So that was a little bit of a bummer. It was just 2 actors who were out there, or 2 puppeteers. But I think it hit all the notes. And I loved with the screen, Craig, I loved how all of the backdrops that they designed looked like cut paper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was really cool.
And just to speak on like where I actually sat in the front row. I know that's not the best place to watch it. I just felt like, I was there for a media thing. So everyone's there recording videos and stuff. I wanted something different. No one else was sitting in the front row. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go for it. Do that.
In the front row.
I didn't realize though, I'd never watched the last show from the front row. So I can only imagine how much of a bummer it would be when there is so much crowd audience performances happening. I know I just said that in a really stupid way, but it just like the fact that even for that short time that I had to turn around for this show, when they were more towards the center of the auditorium, like it's cool that they come out that far, but that it's not also built for that. you don't get as good of a view. So I'm happy they cut that down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I liked it.
I like that it's 25 minutes instead of 40.
Yes. Yeah.
It feels like it doesn't drag anymore.
It's more efficient.
Yeah, it feels more like cohesive. Everything blends together really well with it being a little shorter. And not my favorite show, but I still, like I said, a little choked up. So even though it's shorter, it still has the emotions behind it.
Yeah.
So that's good. Happy Entertainment's back.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Amen.
Yes. Okay. Does anyone else have anything to say on their current feelings of Walt Disney World as a whole? Any final sentiments?
It's hot.
It's very hot.
It's very hot outside. Wear sunscreen.
And you will, like, Sunday wasn't as bad as yesterday was. And so just keep that in mind when you're planning your trip. There could be a massive swing in one day's time. And it's not necessarily a temperature swing. It's a humidity swing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was fine all day in Epcot on Sunday. And then yesterday in Animal Kingdom, just to go see Nemo, sweating like crazy.
I mean,
So,
Animal Kingdom is the hottest park, though.
it is.
In my
It's true.
opinion. I bring my little portable fan that I bought on Amazon everywhere during the summer because it's really hot. And the humidity is very sticky right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fun time.
It is. Rhino, are you still carrying your fan? When
Oh,
you-
yeah, I got it in my backpack right behind me right
Oh,
now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yay.
I think one of the flip out fans, honestly, the these guys.
Oh.
I think those, honestly, I'm at that point where I'm like, I think they might be not a better investment, but I'm just saying if you're somebody who's prepared to carry the fan, like it takes very little work. I mean, it does require some work, but like the amount of wind you get from one of those, I don't care what you look like when you're doing it. I don't blame you because it's very nice. So maybe invest in one of those.
You got to do what you got to do. Whatever gets you
Yeah.
through your park day.
Yeah.
Wise words from a wise person, Denny Sunderly. But with that, I'm going to take this conversation back on the rails, even though I don't feel like we ever left it.
Did we? I mean,
I talked a lot about Guardians.
Yeah, I will say,
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, I no longer have to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy anymore. Like we kind of just we did it all, and I'm looking forward to see who goes into Epcot and gets me photos of all the stuff that we talked about with Guardians, specifically the merchandise, because that's got to get put in here somewhere.
Probably me.
For the video version. Hey, I'll be recording DCL shows, so I cannot go and do it. But
Oh, I have an
I'll be
Epcot
there
park
tomorrow.
reservation tomorrow.
well, there we go. There we go. Someone's gonna get it, and it'll all look great when you're watching. And if it's listening, I hope we described all the merchandise items in detail. I know Rhino did its best. He did well with the horns. I will say, the Loki horns.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, of course, yes, I already said we're back on the rails. So thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave comments and questions if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're listening to this, make sure to subscribe and, leave us ratings and reviews wherever you decide to listen to Off the Rails, whatever your favorite podcast app is. They have it. And if you want to support us more, you can always book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Well, that's going to do it for us here. And we will see you again real soon next time we go off the rails. Take care. Bye-bye.